the number one thing that comes to mind when someone says Yamaha Grizzly? For me, it's dependability. That's the number one thing the Grizzly is known for. Its dependability is what has solidified the Grizzly's legendary status in the industry. No matter what situation you find yourself in, the Grizz will get you out of it. And while this one trait on its own is a perfectly good reason to buy a Grizzly, it's so much more than just a one-trick pony. It's also highly capable as well. Its 700 single may not be the most powerful, but it's proven time and time again that there's basically nothing it can't do. Its sturdy frame can take a beating. Its simple double A-arm suspension setups front and rear provide good ride and handling characteristics. Steel racks are tough and offer unlimited tie-down options. And finally, its Ultramatic CV transmission is widely considered to be one of, if not the best and most durable belt transmission systems in the industry. For 2023, the Grizzly comes in two packages, the EPS and the EPS SE, which is what we have here. Now, the EPS SE package gets you this really cool SE-only color and graphics, as well as 27-inch Maxxis Zilla tires wrapped around 14-inch aluminum wheels and the Warn winch pre-installed from the factory. It really is a great package with truly useful upgrades aimed directly at making the Grizzly even more capable than it already is. Now, with that said, it's interesting that you can't get an SE in camo. I point this out only because features like a winch and ultra-aggressive tires like the Maxxis Zillas are things hunters will want. In my opinion, there really should be a camo SE option. Clearly, this SE is sporting some upgrades that are not included from the factory. We've got this upgraded front bumper, these gear clamps on the front, the cargo box at the back, full aluminum skid plating, and of course, this gun boot. Now at first, I thought the gun boot was a bit of a weird inclusion. I mean, this ATV has high-vis accents, not exactly the stealth look most people who actually use a gun boot prefer. But then I got thinking about how I would use this Grizzly with its included features and accessories. And while I do have a hunting license, I don't actually hunt. I just don't have the patience. But I do love to target shoot and have a few places I like to go when I want to shoot longer ranges. Problem is, these places can be a bit tricky to get to, but as I got looking at this Grizzly with the way it's set up, I realized this thing would make getting in there pretty much effortless, so I loaded up all my gear and headed up to punch some holes. Now admittedly, it's been a few years since I personally tested a Grizzly, and the first thing that struck me was how smooth this SE rides. I assumed the big aggressive tires were going to be stiff and the ride harsh, but I couldn't have been more wrong. The ride is decidedly plush. Handling is also good. The power steering is tuned perfectly, definitely no complaints there. Now, as I've said in the past, Grizzlies do tend to roll up onto their outside front wheel when you're cornering. That feeling isn't gone, but I think these tires have improved it a bit. In the tight and technical trails I rode getting to my favorite shooting spot, the Grizzly was precise, stable, and the steering was effortless. As I said, it's been a while since I've tested a Grizzly, and I'd almost forgot how grunty this 700 single feels. It runs flawlessly with no flameouts or stalls. But man, when you need that bottom end pull, it's got it in spades. Getting the engine to rev up is decidedly slower than a twin, but once that big single is rolling, power is immediate. The Ultramatic transmission is just so good as well. It shifts great and does such a good job of protecting the belt, you almost never need to use low range. As far as comfort is concerned, I find the Grizzly to be very comfortable. The seat is soft, but still easy to move around on. Handlebars are in a good position, and the floorboards are large and very grippy. I like the gauge as well. Its big numbers and letters are easy to read, and it looks really nice integrated into the pod. Lighting is excellent with LED bulbs all the way around. The only ergonomic gripe I have is that the gun boot makes it nearly impossible to get off the ATV on the right side, but that's the gun boot's fault, not the ATV. The Zillas get great forward grip on the ground, and they work excellent in this mixture of snow and dirt we have here in Ontario right now. I will say though, on higher speed roads and trails, they do make the handling feel a little bit vague. They tend to allow the machine to wander a bit. It's not really a big deal, but it will be a trade-off you'll have to accept. Now, I didn't need the winch, but it was nice to know it was there, and I did use 4x4 with the front diff unlocked all day, and I was very impressed with the traction versus turning effort and radius compromise. The trails I rode to get to my shooting spot were a mix of high-speed fun and low-speed crawling. There wasn't a single spot the Grizzly struggled with, and it never left me feeling like it wasn't doing something I wanted it to do. It was comfortable, offered great power, handled well, and provided me the extra confidence and security that it wouldn't let me down. While I know everyone is dying for Yamaha to release an ATV with a larger engine, I have to be honest. I really feel the Grizzly is all I would ever need, and then some.